What was the scariest city you've ever been to? Port-au-Prince. Saw a newly shot woman on the sidewalk, and the next day, a human finger in a trash heap. Juarez, Mexico. I'm an Irish, Mexican redhead. Went with cousins to see my aunt and uncle. At the time, '07, it was the most murderous city on earth. My family members were in a cartel. There was a cartel war going on. Had armed men all around at all times. For all the money and cars and opulence at their home, it was like being in prison. The tension in the air was thick. I was treated like a king, but that whole week, I was terrified inside. Different world. Was told, no matter what happens, do not call police. They worked for the other guys. I was told that if shit kicked off, and anyone made it through the gates, to grab a gun and shoot myself. That would be the best possible outcome. I haven't been back. The doorman in my hotel in Johannesburg stopped me as I was walking out and told me, "You won't last 5 minutes out there. Go back to your room where it's safe." Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Didn't matter, day or night, people looked at you with hatred. Was in St. Louis with my cousin and we crossed that bridge. East St. Louis has gotta be the most dangerous feeling place I've ever been. Street lights busted out at night, everything run down, abandoned, bullet holes in the stop signs, etc. We pulled up GPS and got the fuck out of there real quick lol. Kingston, Jamaica. I switched hotels to one more secure. Early on my last morning, I was going to the airport and my original hotel was on fire. I wish Google Maps still told you when your path was through a high crime area. I ended up driving through this tiny town in the middle of Nevada that I assume used to be a mining town. It looked like a steady paycheck hadn't been seen in this town for 20 years, the houses were all dilapidated, and the locals looked just as worn out. Bullet holes and burn marks could be seen on pretty much every building. The only reason I drove through the town instead of just sticking to the main road was to top up on gas, but I couldn't find anything, not even a small convenience store. It must have been hell for those folks considering the closest town with an actual store and gas was around 70 miles away. Edit. I took a look via Google Earth at some of the townspeople mentioned and I found it. Gabs, NV. Definitely not a place I'd want to go back to. West Memphis is so sketchy. Mogadishu 92/93. Johannesburg. When you stop at a red light you have to be ready to punch the gas as there are broad daylight carjackings at intersections. Baghdad or Baltimore at night. Shot at in both places. At least in Baghdad I was also armed. Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. Every property surrounded by solid fences topped with razor wire, and if you can afford it, patrolled by armed guards and guard dogs. As a visitor, you should never use a local taxi, or walk outside your hotel compound at night. Isla Trinitaria in southern Guayaquil, Ecuador. Absolutely bonkers. Johannesburg. It's the only place I've been where the pilot tells you before landing where to go and not to go. What to do and not to do if you don't want to get robbed, mugged or killed.